Well, a blessed good morning to all of you under the sound of my voice. Welcome to Moments of Inspiration with your friend Minister Rick, coming to you from Hatchet Bay, Lutheran in the Bahamas. Today I want to talk to you from a subject I got from a study I did with Carrie Newhoff. 5 things the church needs to stop doing to make progress. You see, for us students of the Bible, sometimes we study and we come across topics and discussions from other people, and it's okay to share it. Just remember to add their name to it. So, Carrie Newhoff is my inspiration today, talking about 5 things the church needs to stop doing to make progress. Number 1, and firstly, the church has made or has more critics these days than way back then. And the reality is the church will inevitably run into criticism. Sometimes the criticism is unwanted. People project their own issues onto the congregation or church, which is never ever healthy. The gospel, even when powerfully shared, got John the Baptist killed, got the Apostle Paul killed, got Jesus killed, and many of the prophets killed, just to name a few. Even love sometimes gets rejected. Sometimes the church absolutely deserves the criticism it gets. So number 1, stop being weird, Carrie says. Too many of us come across as toxic, angry, ranters, and haters, screaming and shouting and angry. Stop it. Some come across as cynical, disappointed with everybody and think only their one is right. And some come across so sweet and syrupy that you even scared to listen to them. If you're always angry and cynical, or all you do is complain, think and ask yourself, would I like to be friends with someone like that? And if the answer is no, then you need to stop it. Here's the second point Carrie gives us. Stop commenting on politics. Listen, God is not a Republican, neither a Democrat, and in my country he's not a PLP, and God is not an FNM or a DNA. God is simply God. When your church becomes a mouthpiece for a political party, you cease to be the church. And I'm talking to the church this morning. The church's job is to share the gospel, not to change the government. And when God happens to have the same opinions as you, wow, you're probably not even worshiping God anymore. You're worshiping yourself. Number 3, handling conflicts so poorly. Stop handling conflicts so poorly. The church should be the best in the world at handling conflicts. We should be the best. You know why? Because we were taught by the best. We were taught by Jesus. Yet we sidestep, we gossip, we talk about each other rather than to each other. We avoid conflict, or we run into it like a bulldozer, claiming we're all about the truth. If we just handle the conflict humbly and gently, introspectively and bravely, we would be so much better. Stop handling conflicts poorly. Here's the 4th point. Ranking sin selectively. And we need to stop ranking sin selectively. Christians have become fairly good at focusing on the moral failings of others while ignoring their own. We pretend that the worst sin you can commit is sexual. And don't get me wrong, sexual sin has its serious implications. But so does gossip. And divisiveness. And quarreling. Sins Christians routinely ignore. We like to ignore the sin of gossiping and divisiveness and quarreling. You know why? Because these are the sins that we mostly commit ourselves. Yes, maybe if we humbly confess our sins first, the world would be more likely to come to Jesus with their sins. Here's my final point. We need to stop judging others. Yeah, stop it. Stop judging others. We in the church have largely ignored Paul's injunction to stop judging non-Christians. Even Jesus said he did not come into the world to judge it, but to save it. If Jesus came to save the world and not judge it, then why are you judging the world? Now, I completely get it. Sometimes I want to judge people too. Things bother me. I get angry. But I have to refrain myself because my faith demands it. So Christians, the world already has a judge and it's not you. Let me say it again. The world already has a judge, Christians, and it's not you. He's more fairer than you. He's more just than you. He's more perfect than you. And he's far more accurate than you. Listen to me. Do your best to help reconcile your brothers and sisters to Christ. That's all your job is. Reconciliation to Christ. And stop doing these 5 things. Selah, think, and act on these things. God bless you today.